Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty78609 in my Gildan t-shirt, kind of a fashion statement. But what I want to do today is give you a tip for some of you RVers that have electric and propane hot water heaters that are about 6 gallons in size. And if it's more than one person and you want to take a shower, you know what that ends up being. Somebody's taking a cold shower. So what I'll tell you is this, and I've timed these things. I have a Class C motorhome with a 6-gallon electric or propane or both water heater. Correct. And yeah, it's real easy to get to the switches because they're right here. Some RVs you have to go outside to turn the deal on propane, you know, to light it and so forth. But what I found out is this. If you want to take a shower, and let's say the outside temperature is 50 degrees, and you haven't been running the water heater at all, from ground zero, or temperature approximately 50 degrees, you can heat the water, 6 gallons, using propane only in 14 minutes. Okay? If you turn on electric and propane, you can heat that same water in about 11 minutes. If you use electric only, it's going to take you about 18 minutes. Why? Because electricity is the slowest form of heating that you've got. So, what does that tell you? Several things. One, you only have to run your hot water heater on propane or electric for about 12 to 20 minutes per day, and then shut it off. How about that? Turn it off. You don't need to leave it on all day. Who made that rule? Nobody. You know, and you know, of course, if it's one person like me, that's enough hot water for all day, including a shower. And what I do is I turn on the hot water on propane and electric for about 15 minutes, starting about 5 p.m. because I take my shower about 6, but I set a timer, run it for 15 minutes, cut it off, then when I get ready to take a shower, I've got hot water. Now, if it's 2 of you, well, what you'll have to do is leave the hot water on propane and gas, one person take a shower, and while they're toweling off and doing all their stuff, their ablutions, so to speak, then that water heater will regenerate hot water for the next person to take a shower, and on it goes. If you've got 3, 4, 5, whatever, just leave it on both propane and electric until all of you are through, and then wait a few minutes and then turn it off. Say 5 or 6 minutes till it's kind of recharged again, so you'll have hot water for cleaning up your dishes and so forth. And what will that enable you to do? Well, if you have your own home base, it will save you on electricity and propane. If you're at an RV park or a state park, just leave it, or where you've paid for the electric, just leave it on electric all the time while you're there, because you've paid for it, you know. And if it's an RV park where you have to pay for the electric, well, then you can conserve a little electricity by just turning on your hot water heater for a few minutes. Some people just use propane when they're at RV parks if they're paying for the electric, but you're not going to use that much propane if you turn them both on for, say, 15 minutes and gives you hot water for a shower and a few hours later. In fact, even here where it gets, I'm in Capitan, New Mexico right now, and it's in May. So whenever I wake up in the mornings, I haven't had the hot water heater on overnight, but I still have warm enough water to wash my bowl that I do for my breakfast stuff, my kind of cereal stuff. It's oatmeal and all kind of crap. But yeah, it works fine. So just bear in mind, number one, that you don't need to leave your water heater on propane all the time where you're camping or whatever. And particularly for those of you that are traveling, be sure and turn the propane hot water heater off before you take off from your site. Why? If you ever see somebody that has made that mistake, you'll see where there's black smoke and stuff down the side of their RV, and particularly where the hot water heater is. They forgot to turn it off, okay? And when you're zipping down the highway, those little smoke and flames kind of reach out and go down the side of your RV. So be sure that you turn your hot water heater off, propane, before you take a trip. Now, as far as electric, you can have it on because it's not going to run on 12 volt. It'll only run on 110. And so it's not going to be running at all if you have the propane off when you're traveling. So that is the story of propane, electric, hot water heaters on RVs. Just do whatever you do. Do it your way. You do you, I do me, everything works. But what I say is turn it on, let it run for 10 or 15, I think say 15 minutes if you turn both on, hot, electric and propane, and you're good. Yeah, you got hot water at 50 degrees. Now, if it's down to 0, it may take a little longer, and if it's 100 degrees, it may take a little less. But having said that, in my Gildan t-shirt V-neck, this is Rusty78609 saying, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy anything you want, anytime. But if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of all of my videos. Why? Because it doesn't cost you 1 penny. Okay, you just click on the link in the description, go to Amazon, buy whatever you choose. Amazon takes care of old Rusty. But anyway, having said that, accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, stand guard at the door of your mind, drink plenty of water, stretch, walk, do all those things to keep your health, because without your health, you're not going to be going camping in an RV with a 6-gallon tank anyway. And those of you that live in homes that have a 40-gallon electric water heater, just bear in mind that that water heater is using 25% of your electricity. Why? Because you're heating 40 gallons of water all day long, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Why don't they have an on-off switch on the hot water heater, the electric ones in homes? I have no clue. If I have one built, I will have an on-off switch if I have an electric hot water heater. And if I have natural gas, I will put it on the lowest heat setting and not have to worry about it. Anyway, guys, adios, bye-bye.